Presents White Sox baseball. It's Jermaine Dye, Jim Thome, Paul Konerko, and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Derek Jeter and Joe Girardi's first place New York Yankees. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With former Cy Young Award winner Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson. As we get set to bring you the first of this 4-game set and the first of this 10-game homestand, a big homestand for us. It'll be 4 with the Yankees, 3 with the Angels, and 3 with the Indians. So the Sox coming off just a bad road trip. We lost 3 out of 4 in Cleveland, got swept in Minnesota. So the Sox come in at 51-51, 3 games back of the Tigers. But tonight, trying to get this homestand off the right foot is Gavin Floyd.
Gavin Floyd's 8-6 this year, and he started off this year very slowly. But recently he's thrown the ball exceptionally well. He's going to have to do it tonight against the Yankees. Yankees are red hot. They lead the East by 3.5 games, and this is a loaded offense. When you have to deal with A-Rod and Jeter and Johnny Damon and the rest of the guys in that lineup, you realize you have to throw strikes and you can't afford to walk anybody. And Gavin has to get that curveball over early. Andy Pettitte goes to the mound for the Yankees. He's 8-6, and lifetime against the Sox, he's 11-9. Now his ERA is up there a bit, and if he's not getting that cutter over the plate to the right-handers, he can be had. This is going to be a very lively ballpark because it's in the 80s here today, and so hopefully the offense can come to life, and more importantly, the defense has to do it. And we've got Nix at shortstop as Ramirez is out from 4 to 6 days.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Midas. We're on this road together. Go to MidasChicago.com for valuable savings. Honda. Test drive a 2009 Honda today at your Honda dealer. McDonald's of Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Dedicated to giving you the security to experience wellness everywhere. The all-new 2010 Lexus RS, reinventing the vehicle that invented it all. Aflac, we've got you under our wing. And by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on.
Air here because it was just 1 week ago. Mark Buehrle made history, pitching his perfect game. The crowd was wild. The clubhouse went crazy. And Sox fans across the nation will never forget that moment. Thanks for joining us here on the South Side. I'm Sarah Cusack, and I am joined by a very special guest, Governor Pat Quinn, who, as I hear, is a longtime Sox fan. Governor Quinn, you've got to tell me what was going through your mind when you saw that final out and saw what
first of all,
Burley
I think
did.
everybody in America was excited. I saw President Obama about an hour or two later. He came into O'Hare Field. He came bounding down the stairs and he said, "What about that perfect game by Mark Burley?" And I think everybody in our country was happy for Mark. He's such a great guy, great teammate, a hard worker. He's the best of the best.
And today you proclaimed Mark Burley Day.
That's
what does
right.
that mean to you to be able to name this day in honor of Mark Burley and what he did?
Well, I'm a White Sox fan from birth, and I think Mark is one of the best White Sox ever to play. He just embodies hard work and team play. And so we had the proclamation read before the game here, Mark Burley Day in the land of Lincoln. He deserves a proclamation in a day. He's just really a great guy for our state and for everybody in America.
And Governor Quinn, you're talking about all the great attributes that Mark Burley has. From what I hear, you maybe have some post-baseball plans for Mark?
Well, I tell you, I hope so. Maybe he could run for lieutenant governor. I'd get elected for sure. But, one thing about Mark, we were just talking during the today, he was cut from his high school team in freshman and sophomore year. A lot of people don't realize that. He went to community college. He got drafted in the 38th round. So anybody out there who maybe it doesn't happen for him the first day or the first year, keep trying, because that's what Mark Burley is all about. Sticking to it and getting the job done. Been a major leaguer for 10 years, a no-hitter, a perfect game, and a great guy.
It seems like it, and as we were just standing here chit-chatting before the interview, so many of the players were walking up to you saying hello. What's it been like for you to be able to be around this Sox team and kind of get an understanding of what they are outside of just the play on the field?
Well, I'll tell you, the Sox had a volunteer day this year. Volunteer, it says on the back of this hat. And I was so impressed because the night before the Sox had lost, it was a late game, and we got together on Saturday morning at 10 in the morning. And so many players are out there giving of their time. The chemistry of this team is great. They're generous men who really give back to the community, each in their own way. Dwayne Wise had a separated shoulder the day of Volunteer Day. He was still out there. I'm glad he's with us because he made that catch out in center field, and that's one for the ages as well.
That it is. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Governor Quinn.
Sarah.
We appreciate it. And we're going to take a look at your proclamation of handing Mark Burley his award today.
Okay. Therefore, I, Pat Quinn, Governor of the State of Illinois, commend and salute Mark Burley for his exemplary performance on the baseball diamond and do hereby proclaim today, July 30th, 2009, as Mark Burley Day in Illinois, the land of Lincoln, in recognition of this historic and extraordinary accomplishment. Thanks a million, Mark.
Congratulations, Mark Burley, and thank you to Governor Pat Quinn.
As you can see, we are expecting some rain shortly as the clouds are starting to roll in right now. We don't know exactly how long it's supposed to last, but we certainly will let you know when we know. In the meantime, we're going to take you to some rain delay programming. And this coming back August 8th in 07, the Cleveland Indians right here at USA Field.
bit tough. In fact, the White Sox 24-28 on the road, but at home they're 27-23, and they want to improve upon that. But to do it, they're going to have to get by at least at the start. The New York Yankees at 62-39. There's Joe Girardi, the skipper of the Yankees. He's in his second season. As you can see, pretty good record. And overall, thought of as one of the better young managers in the game. And there, you look at the Yankees, the best record in the major league since May 8th. The Angels right there. Of course, the Phillies, who helped themselves in the trade market. The Rockies, the Dodgers, the Rangers also coming off, and it coincides with when A-Rod came off the disabled list on May 8th, and that set up the whole lineup. We'll take a look at the Southwest starting lineup as the Sox take the field. And for the New York Yankees, leading off is Derek Jeter. Johnny Damon hitting second, Mark Teixeira hitting third, Alex Rodriguez hitting fourth, Hideki Matsui the designated hitter. Then it's former White Sox Nick Swisher, Robinson Cano, then Cabrera and Molina rounded out. The Lowe's defensive setup and how they'll line up behind Gavin Floyd, Quentin Kotsay and Dye left to right. Beckham, Nix, Getz, and Konerko in the infield. A.J. Pierzynski behind the plate. And the U.S. Cellular starting pitcher is Gavin Floyd, who's 8-6. And he's looking for a big effort tonight. This is a terrific offensive team for the Yankees. And as you can see, left-handers have done very little with Gavin Floyd. The game conditions. 73 degrees with 62% humidity. Winds out of the west at 8 to 12 miles an hour. And the forecast is the rains have passed. The skies are clearing. And all is set for baseball. The umpires tonight. Behind the plate, Ted Barrett. At first base, Tim McClellan. At second base, Andy Fletcher. And at third base, Greg Gibson. Tonight's game time start is presented by 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. And so with just a little over an hour rain delay, we're ready to start this off with Gavin Floyd facing Derek Jeter, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you very much. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the first of this homestand and this four-game set with the Bronx Bombers. Derek Jeter will lead it off, 35-year-old veteran. Yankees come in at 62-39, hitting at .277 as a club with a 4.34 ERA. And the first pitch of the ball game. Chopper. Nix. Nice. One pitch, one out.
But Jason Nix has taken over at shortstop. Those of you who saw the game last night or heard about it realize that Alexi Ramirez turned his ankle. It's not bad enough to put him on the disabled list, and Jason Nix, with a quick delivery, able to play third, short, or second base, and he's got as good a hands as they have on this team.
Johnny Damon.
And the official rain delay time, 1 hour and 4 minutes.
Damon hitting at .272, 17 homers, 57 driven in. Damon last year hit .303, 17 homers, and knocked in 71.
Well, the biggest difference in the home runs is that new ballpark.
I can't wait to see it.
Well, the ball flies out in right center, and there are guys that will tell you, regardless of what it's marked, it's a lot shorter, and the wind blows out that way, and you can just touch it. I mean, Teixeira broke his bat, hit one in the upper deck.
Charlie Wilson, huh?
I know he's strong, but I'm not sure he's that strong.
There's a strike in the count, 3-1. Teixeira on deck. And there's ball 4. So Damon, who was 8 for 8 in stolen bases, he's aboard, and that'll bring up the switch hitting first baseman, Mark Teixeira, hitting at .285, but 26 homers and 74 driven in. Last year between Atlanta and the Angels, he had 33 homers, knocked in 121.
Well, he's one of the most powerful switch hitters in the game. maybe the most powerful. Gavin's done a nice job of trying to alter his motion to try to combat the base stealers. Last year, he was absolutely helpless against them, and this year he's done a little bit better job, but the Yankees are still going to test him.
There's a strike to even the count of 1, and here at beautiful US Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straight away center. There's another Matabatacola. This one's not going out of the ballpark. 2 down.
Good solid pitch by Gavin Floyd as he was able to basically throw that ball through Teixeira's bat. Taking a little look at it. AJ wants it inside. Actually, that ball kind of floated back out over the plate, and Teixeira hit it off the end part of the bat.
So here's Rodriguez hitting at 251, 19 homers. He's driven in 57. Yankees with 151 homers. We have 122. There's a chopper. Gordon. And that'll do it after half inning of play. It's the Yankees nothing and the good guys coming to bat.
Southwest lineup is Kotsay, Beckham, and Dye, with Jim Thome the DH, and Konerko, Pierzynski, Quinton, Getz, and Nix playing shortstop and hitting 9. The Lowe's defensive setup and how they'll line up behind Pettit left to right, Damon, Cabrera, and Swisher in the infield, Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira. Molina behind the plate, and the U.S. Cellular starting pitcher Andy Pettit, who's 8-6. As you can see, right-handers have hit him a whole lot better than left-handers, and you have to watch his pickoff move to first base if you do get on, because it's one of the best in the league.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. As first pitch, DeMarc Kotsay swung on. If you missed that line shot last night to end the ball game, ducks on the pond. This ball is absolutely killed, Stone Pony.
Well, unfortunately, Gadire is right there on that sinking line drive, 5 feet to either side, and we go ahead by a run.
Good check right there. Kotsay has faced Pettit 5 times, has 1 hit. Sox come in hitting at 260 as a club with a 4.11 ERA. Pettit, 6'5", 225 pounds, out of Deer Park, Texas.
And 90 over 500 lifetime.
He's been a good one. The thing I've always respected so much about Pettit, he took the ball. He pitched in pain many times. Rodriguez on the move, and that's out number 1. Sox come in at 27 and 23 here at home.
And Andy Pettitte in combination with Mariano Rivera, it's something that's absolutely amazing when you look at the numbers. Mariano Rivera and Andy Pettitte have teamed up where Rivera has saved 60 games for him. That's the highest total of any one pitcher for any one starter in baseball.
Beckham takes ball 1. Gordon hitting at 305. 5 homers. He's driven in 29. That fastball upstairs at 89.
Gone are the days when Andy Pettitte's going to be able to throw it by you. What you have to be careful of is the slider that he throws inside.
And that's popped up right side. Swisher. So with 2 out, let's check out our Heineken picks to click tonight. Gimancio, our director of the crew, went with Kansai, Stone Pony, and Lisa. Larry, they're going to go with A.J. Pierzynski, and Governor Pat Quinn and his staff, who decided to make this Mark Burley Day.
Not a bad idea.
It was a terrific idea. We're going to go with Jason Nix.
Well, he sets another all-time record just about every time he pitches, so not a bad thing to do.
Strike 1 to Jermaine, who is 8 for 25 lifetime off Pettitte. Now, field for the most part, they're not going to move around a whole bunch. They're going to stay, for the most part, straight up and spread out.
This also isn't the best defensive outfielder.
No. That's the reason they're not going to move around a lot. Good take right there. Tommy on deck. So 2 out and the 2-2 pitch. Short hop and a 1-2-3 inning for Pettitte, and after 1, no score.
Dominican White Sox players presented by Apple Vacations and Dominican Republic Department of Tourism. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
No score, top of the 2nd inning. It'll be Matsui, Swisher, and Cano. Hideki hitting at 259, 15 homers. He's driven in 46. Takes up high. Last year, Matsui, injury-plagued season, hit .294, 9 homers, and knocked in 45. But make no mistake about it, this guy is some kind of an RBI man. There's the strike.
Well, he's been probably their best clutch run producer for just as long as he put on that Yankee uniform.
7th, 8th, and 9th inning, he's been right there. Bit of a gap out there in left center. That ball is hammered. So the count 1-2. First of 4 with New York. First of 10, covering 11 days here on this homestand. After this series, 3 with the Halos and 3 with the Indians. Pretty good curveball right there. Went around the plate, I guess.
Well, that's a pitch that Gavin would really love to have come to him, and this does hook around the plate. But the fact that it actually was biting a bit is a good sign.
Yes, he did. He gone.
Greg Gibson on the appeal. And one tough left-hander goes down on strikes as Gavin throws a fastball inside. And Matsui can't check his swing. I think he might have cut it somewhat because that
sure
ball
did.
was actually moving toward Matsui.
And here's Swisher. Nick at .239, but he has 16 homers and 53 ribbies. And early on in this season, he for the most part carried this offense. Good fastball strike. Last year with us, he had .219, 24 homers, and knocked in 69. Boy, he was in a pattern last year with us. Anybody with a decent changeup, he had no chance.
And also, his natural side was the right side, and he couldn't hit to save his life from the right side.
Right.
Now this year the batting average is substantially higher. It's 26 points higher as a left-hand hitter. And because he gets so many more at bats, that's where most of his power is.
Outfield about equidistant, slightly to the left. And that ball is hammered foul.
But Gavin hasn't broken out the straight change yet. This would be a real good time for it because more times than not, Nick will swing at the motion as opposed to the baseball. So we'll see what AJ decides and how he wants to work it.
That breaking ball, a curve way high and hard.
And what we see from Gavin early is the fact that he tries to overthrow the breaking ball and doesn't get on top of it. It comes up spinning. Fortunately, that one stayed way out of the zone.
And the payoff pitch. He gone.
That was a changeup, 85 miles an hour and right down the middle. Gavin takes a little something off.
That's the pitch last year. Nick just could not pull the trigger on. Got to be a head case thing with him.
Well, this is a real good player, and he's having a terrific year for the Yankees.
This is one of the best talents in the American League right here. Robinson Cano. Curveball strike.
Joe Girardi had to do a little managing with Cano last year. He actually set him down for a couple of games. Then he made an adjustment in his swing. He was in a terrible stretch where nothing was working for him. And after sitting him down, he's come back and done a great job.
Attaboy, Gordon. Steve Conroy, Blackhawks analyst on Comcast Sportsnet. His father, Ed, passed away on Tuesday night in Toronto. He was 84 years old. Our thoughts and prayers are with Steve, Julie, and the rest of the Conroy family. No score, bottom of the second, and Stone Pony, he broke out that changeup on a 3-2 pitch to Swisher.
And Gavin is looking pretty good, and it's great to be home after a terrible road trip. Hopefully the home cooking will help this ball club, and so far Gavin Floyd has held down a pretty tough Yankee lineup.
Tommy takes ball one. One thing about our club, as we have seen this year, we have been very inconsistent, especially defensively, but our club is a very resilient club. What happened in the last week, that's history.
Well, there's not much you can do about it, because at this point it's behind you, and the club realizes better than anybody. You got the Yankees for 4 and the Angels for 3, and the Angels are leading their division, so that's 2 pretty good ball clubs.
Well, you know, the thing about baseball, that's why it's such a great game, is you got tomorrow. You got tomorrow. You can play like a chop for a week. You can come back and play like a champion for 2 weeks. Tommy 6 for 25 lifetime off Pettit. Checks it up.
I don't think that Greg Gibson was right on that one, but
no, he wasn't.
We'll take a look again.
Pettit will get it and throw it.
We'll take a look at it. It's one of those flip coins, and it didn't go Jim's way.
Another breaking ball. Full count.
It's good to see Jim back in the lineup after having some back problems, just not severe back problems, which is good.
Cano. And that's out number 1.
August 4th at 7-11. It's the White Sox versus the Angels. The first 30,000 fans will receive a Mark Burley commemorative baseball card presented by Apple Vacations. Boy, they're busy with Apple. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
Here's Konerko hitting at 283, 20 homers. He's driven in 68. Well, the first thing I did when I looked at the lineup sheet, I looked at the umpiring crew, and we got a pretty good umpiring crew right here.
This is a good one.
Yes. Paulie 11 for 30 lifetime against Pettit, and 11 hits, 10 of them stayed in the park. I don't think Paulie cared for that pitch too much.
There you look at the numbers. They're pretty impressive. And Pettit's been a good pitcher for a long time. He started back in 1991.
Those last 2 pitches, not too good. Paulie didn't like them, either one.
No.
He had a right to not like them.
And he's sitting there at 1 and 2. Pretty
right down the white line on the left-handed hitter's box.
Pretty good if you're Billy Barty.
Or Wilt Chamberlain.
Well, there he got the break, because that one looked pretty good.
Pettit knows he's got a wide plate right now. They're going to stay out there.
Andy's had a couple of 21-game seasons, 1996 with the Yankees and 2003 with the Yankees.
Ball 4 base hit. Oh, he was all over it, just underneath it. He barreled that one up.
And this is a cut fastball that just stayed right over the middle of the plate.
That's a hack right there.
Occasionally you get one of those and you get under it. You want to pound yourself in the head with the bat.
And there's the base hit. Going right with the flow. So you can cancel a post-game show. For Pettit. And it'll bring up AJ.
Ball got a fastball. That one was actually off the plate, but because of the earlier calls, he realized he couldn't take it. Even with Teixeira well off the bag, he shoots that one through the right side.
AJ at 304, 11 homers, 29 driven in. 7 for 19 lifetime against Pettit. AJ trying to put us up 2-0 in a hurry.
Well, Cano was pointing over at Jeter, and he was pretty much asking him who's going to cover on the steal. And I think Jeter just stopped laughing.
I can't get ready to say.
I don't think he has to worry about that.
Robinson's still got to learn the league a little bit.
Well, you got a lefty with one of the best motions around, and even if he didn't, Paul probably is not going to be running too much.
Oh, 0-2 the count with Carlos Quentin on deck.
Greg Walker had a couple of words for Carlos and talking about his hitting and what he thinks he should do now as opposed to the kind of hitter he was last year. And we'll share them with you as we move along here.
Two down. First strikeout for Pettit.
What Greg Walker said to Carlos Quentin was, look, don't try to hit the perfect line drive double to the alley in right center like you were doing last year. He said your timing isn't where it should be, so just try to hit the ball hard and try to pull it. He said if you do that more times than not, you'll probably stay up the middle if the ball's away from you. And Carlos has been swinging the bat pretty well.
1 for 3 lifetime off Andy. Takes first pitch strike.
Well, that looks like a wide outside corner to me.
There's no question about it. It's going right down the white line in the left-handed hitter's box. Now, if he's going to call an inside corner with Pettit, we're going to be in for trouble tonight. That's a Tom Glavine type situation Andy's got.
Well, Pettit likes to throw in but pitch away. He wants to come in off the plate a lot with that cutter, make sure it's not a strike. But then he'll try to thread the needle on the outside corner with his fastball.
Well, why throw strikes when you don't have to? There's a changeup. That was a strike. Two out, 1-2. The count to Quentin. Short and quick, but underneath it. Pettit is a left-handed version of a guy that you had to get by his motion. You got to get by Pettit's motion. And the right-hander I was talking about was Kevin Appier. You had to get by Apier's motion. You got to get by Pettit's motion. You got to focus on the release point as a hitter, not on what all you're looking at out there.
Well, they're both very big men. Appier the right-hander, Pettit the left-hander, but they're both around 6'5", and they both seem to go way back before they came over the top and delivered the ball. So they showed you a lot of elbows and knees and showed you a lot of everything they had before the baseball came out of their hand, and that's why they were so deceptive.
Good check upstairs, 2-2. Change up. Good job by Carlos just to get a piece of it.
That's one of the reasons why Pettit is so tough, is that he throws you the change up, and that's about 80 miles an hour. Then he'll cut the fastball to you. That's around 84 or so. And when he throws his fastball at 89, it looks another foot faster than it really is.
As he gets him. So a couple of strikeouts, and we'll go to the third. Nada.
Republic Department of Tourism. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
Melky Cabrera, switch hitting center fielder. Goes through the fastball. Cabrera hitting at 299 homers. He's driven in 36.
Melky is now the everyday center fielder. Gardner had a chip fracture in his hand, and so he won't be back for 3 weeks or so, maybe a month.
Two and one to count. That ball hit deep into right center field. Kotsay back. Off the wall. So Cabrera will pull in with the leadoff double.
And one of the things you just as soon not do is fall behind these hitters because they're pretty tough. That's the 18th double of the year for Melky Cabrera. Got a high fastball out over the plate. The ball stayed in the park, but it one hopped the wall, and he's at second with nobody out. And Molina's job, and he's one of the 3 Molina brothers, is to do whatever he can to get Cabrera over to third base.
He's hitting 245 with a homer and 6 RBIs. That's not going to get it done. And not a real good effort either.
No, that's a terrible at bat only because he was trying to go out and pull the ball. And alertly, when Beckham came in and vacated third base, and Cabrera taken off right away, it might have been very close at third.
Well, Nix was going to get there.
And Nix did just that. He went right to third base to make sure that Cabrera stayed at second.
Jeter hit the first pitch of the ball game. Right back over a chopper. The head of Gavin Floyd, and Jason Nix made the play, threw him out.
Well, in RBI situations, there's very few guys who inside out the ball. That's an inside pitch hit to right field better than Derek Jeter.
First pitch strike. Well, he's a .316 career hitter. Numbers with this guy are meaningful, but they don't even come close to telling the whole story. This is one of the greatest players and one of the greatest leaders of a team that I have seen in my 50 years in this game.
Well, I've always said in describing the Yankees, even when I was in the other league, that when you play the Yankees, they will always have the smartest man on the field. And that's Derek Jeter, because he never seems to be out of position, and he's one of the great clubhouse guys in all of baseball.
There's a chopper to Hopper.
So at least for the moment, the inability of Molina to move Cabrera to third base has saved a run, because I don't think you bring the infield in at all four positions this early in the game.
Here's Damon. He walked. Damon with that very familiar wide open stance, moving those feet. Nothing static about that stance. Overcoming the initial inertia.
Last year he hit .303. It's a most unusual stance, not one that you would teach a young hitter. Constant movement.
Ted Williams, that's all he said. Got to stay in motion. There's a strike. As he said, a synchronized motion. That's up high.
Well, Devin's thrown 5 wild pitches. Most of them have come on the breaking ball. You wouldn't think you'd see one here, but the guy in the on-deck circle is someone you just as soon avoid. So Damon should get a pretty good pitch to hit here.
Little check up. On the move. Good play. Beckham. Attaboy, Gordon. And that'll retire the side. Leadoff double by Cabrera goes for naught.
Arches ball, the off-balance throw, gets it there 2 steps ahead of time. And perhaps a couple of weeks ago, Beckham doesn't make that play, but the White Sox have asked him to shift over to play a position he never played before, and with every passing day, he just keeps getting better at it.
Yeah, you can see him growing each and every day, each and every game. As here's Chris Getz. Takes first pitch strike. Gets a 262. Couple of homers. He's driven in 23. Rodriguez sitting on the grass at third.
Getz looks back at Ted Barrett.
Well, what we're seeing so far is two different strike zones already. One for Pettit and one for Floyd.
Well, if Pettit's going to get one that's calf high, he's going to stay down there. You don't get hurt down there very much. If you're getting the calls, you might as well stay down there.
As I said last inning, why throw strikes when you don't have to? Fights that one off. And that's going to be in the first row. And there's a shot base hit. So the leadoff man aboard as Swisher gets it back in.
And Chris saw one up. It looked like Pettit tried to keep that ball away from him, but couldn't quite get it there. And he drove it into right field. So a promising way to start the third.
And here's Nix. Jason hitting it. 234, 7 homers, 13 knocked in. Long look down at Jeff Cox. Mark Kotsay on deck. Yes, 14 for 15 stolen bases.
But he has to be very careful or he's going to wind up getting picked off. Because Pettit is very deceptive and has a couple of really good moves to first.
And that last move was not anywhere near his good one.
The Sox are going to run on the outfielders of the Yankees. Damon can't throw. Swisher's just adequate. Cabrera is okay, but
Cabrera's got a pretty good arm.
Yep.
And pretty accurate. There you go. Just underneath it.
Well, a good hit and run idea because you don't have to worry about taking off too early because you know the hitter's going to be trying to protect him. He's looking back all the way. He wants to see contact. Wants to see where the ball is going to be hit, and the ball was fouled.
Now Jason with an 0-2 count. That ball is hammered.
I saw a number of folks in Minnesota try to throw high fastballs by him. It doesn't work very well.
One out. Third strikeout for Pettit.
If you can't watch your White Sox on Comcast Sportsnet, you can always catch a game on your computer with MLB.tv. It's the ultimate baseball experience featuring 100 out-of-market games a week live on your computer. For more details, visit WhiteSox.com, where baseball is always on.
So here's Mark. He grounded out to third.
Well, in order to make it a little more difficult to steal, Pettit does use a slide step, and he gets rid of the ball quickly.
Boy, if Molina catches it, it's a strike.
That was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
One before,
Iffy.
not too
Iffy.
sure, but the last one was a good one.
High and to right. Two down, and that'll bring up Beckham.
Well, Gordon has a distinct disadvantage against just about each and every pitcher he faces to never have faced him before. So now he's had one at bat against Pettit, has a pretty good idea where the fastball tops out at. However, he didn't see all of the pitches that Pettit has.
And he's liable not to in this at bat either. In fact, Jim Cott, left-hander, former outstanding pitcher. I believe he has 283 victories in his career.
He's right behind Bert Blyleven.
We were talking about that prior to the game, about how times have changed in the pitching world. As there's Big Jim, pitched for the Sox. Well, I'll tell you what, 283, 237, and 16-time Gold Glove winner.
Only six.
Yeah,
only 16 Gold Gloves. That was it.
He could swing the bat.
Oh yeah.
But we're talking about how the times have changed, because today, with the pitchers going out there going 5 and 6 innings before the pitch count hits them, you're going to see everything in their arsenal. Where in years past, in Jim's time, in his time zone, in my time zone, if a guy had a real good curveball, you're liable not to see it until you had a chance to hurt him. And that's outside. 2-0.
Well, I think what happens here, I think that A-Rod is pretty much telling you how they want to go after Beckham, because he is so far off the line at third, you would expect they'd be playing him away. Now he's moving a little bit toward the line, thinking that Beckham is going to try to pull the ball on 2-0.
Gordon's in the last 3 weeks, he has not been greedy at all. In fact, since he's been up here, he hasn't been greedy. He's made some bad swings, sure he has. Got out and around a few pitches that he shouldn't have tried, sure he did. But overall, he has been taking what they've been giving him. That's the reason he's got, he's sitting on 12 doubles.
Well, you would expect that Pettit would want to throw a cutter inside, and that's a ball that he can hit down the line, because there's plenty of room between Rodriguez and the bag.
Well, you'd think that, especially with 2 strikes.
Yep.
With 2 strikes, because he has not seen it yet.
And it could very well be that Jeter will give A-Rod the heads up, because a lot of times when a third baseman is smoothing out the dirt around him, which is what A-Rod has been doing, when he gets back to set, if it is going to be inside, he will move closer to the line.
And that ball hammered. That's fair. Thank you very much. Getz is being waved around. So the double knocks in Getz, and the Sox take a 1-0 lead. Gordon, Beckham.
And that was a ball that finally Pettit tried to get inside on Beckham. And looking at Rodriguez, he moved a step closer to the line before the pitch. And Gordon just rifles it into the corner. Damon doesn't throw real well, so you have a combination of Damon and Jeter. It's a combination that you're going to run against, because Johnny does not have a real good arm. And it's a 1-0 game.
And Ozzie had him moving. If he's not running on that, he does not score. But here is Jermaine. Jermaine grounded out to Rodriguez at third. Takes that fastball away. And the 2-0 count. So we'll see if Pettit wants die with a 2-0 count, or Tomey on deck.
Well, I would think with the success he's had against Jim Tomey during the course of his career, that he wouldn't want to get too careless with Jermaine Dye.
3-0.
That's a pitch by a guy who's been around since 1991. If you're going to beat me, you're going to beat me with the left-hander, not with the leading home run hitter on the team.
Turn him loose. If he likes it. You don't want to be swinging at that on 3-0.
No, you don't mind that,
Ball
though.
several inches off the plate.
Yeah, he's going to throw another one away and invite Jermaine to try to get himself out on a pitcher's pitch, probably out of the zone.
Well, if he throws him a strike, I'll be very surprised. Off the end of the bat. Change up on a 3-1 count, but the double by Beckham knocks in Getz, who is on the move. Sox lead at 1-0.
The Sox Drawer at CSNChicago.com, brought to you by Toshiba.
First pitch to Shera, rips it foul. 1-3-0 for our Sox. 0-1-0 for their Yankees.
Pitchers really like that, where you cut the fastball inside on a very strong hitter and he hits it right on the button, but he pulls it way foul.
And there's a backdoor curveball.
I think finally the curveball has come to Gavin, and it's taken till the 4th inning, because that was the best one he's thrown.
Double him up. Yep, he gone. Now a backdoor hook.
When Gavin's curveball is right, doesn't matter if it's a right-hander or left-hander, they still can't get it because you give up on it and then the ball just snaps over the corner, and AJ, as if Ted Barrett needs any more help, just pulls the ball across the middle of the plate.
So here's Rodriguez hit into a 5-4 fielder's choice. One and one the count to the 34-year-old veteran. Two and one. Matsui on deck.
I feel about as deep as you can get and playing absolutely straight away.
And if you're just tuning in, we had a 1 hour 4-minute rain delay. Full count. Rodriguez last year, 305, 32 homers, 103 driven in. Nubs that one off the end of the bat. First of a 4-game set. Tomorrow, Clayton Richard against Sergio Mitre. And not many seats left for that game, so call 866 Sox game and check it out. If you can't make it, that game will be over WGN. Then on Saturday, Johnny Danks against AJ Burnett. He gone. Alex did not like that call.
Well, he hasn't been watching tonight because Barrett has had a generous outside corner. It's nice that he has one for both teams. But that was a little cutter. And the benefit of the call.
So here's Matsui. He had a check swing strikeout. Gavin with 4 punch outs. And that is a can of corn. Nice inning. 1, 2, 3 for Gavin. He has retired 6 in a row and he leads it 1-0.
Because it seems to me like they have a whole lot to offer. It's just terrific. I love the channel, and I think they do a great job of covering it. Plus, they can cut into any game and show you immediately what's going on.
All the players are doing that. They're watching MLB.
Pretty good.
What's the guy's name? Tony Petitti? Petitti, the guy who started MLB Network. Done an unbelievable job. First season out. Come on. Wow. Like John McDonough with the Blackhawks. Takes it up, takes a strike, and the count 1-2.
Well, John had a pretty successful first year.
Well, he helped make it successful too.
You could only be that way with the good players. That was a high cutter, and Jimmy thought the ball was up.
Well, from my perspective, I love what Ted Barrett's doing. He's calling a lot of strikes. I love umpires who call a lot of strikes.
Well, there's some umpires that will tell the hitters when the game starts, swing the bat.
They used to. They don't say that very much anymore. They used to tell you, hey, it's getting close to a certain hour here. There's a strike to Paulie. Paulie singled. We got our first hit. A nice piece of woodwork. Fine shot between first and second. I wish all umpires would call the strikes. Get that right arm cranked up.
Molina was telling Andy Pettit to stay closed. If you don't stay closed, you're not going to be able to throw the ball over that outside corner.
Another good rip by Paulie, trying to take that one into right center. Yankee outfield about the same place for everybody since this game started.
Yeah, they're not shifting at all.
That one got in on him just a little bit. Paulie's turning that fan on tonight.
Feeling pretty good, and he looked down at the plate and he asked Ted Barrett if the last pitch was a strike, and that's why he shook his head. Ted said yes.
And once again, the 2-2. Full count, ball four, base hit right here, 14.
And now it's time for our Aflac trivia question as the duck waddles across. Last Yankee pitcher to lead the American League in strikeouts did it in 1964. Who was it?
I'm probably very much included in that number that he amassed.
Think he got you a few times?
Yeah. AJ fouls the first pitch off. He struck out. Pettit now with 5 punch outs. That ball into right field. Swisher is there. Put a little Soriano on that one. Makes the catch. 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the 5th. 1-0 good guys.
former Dominican White Sox players. Presented by Apple Vacations and Dominican Republic Department of Tourism. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
Swisher, Cano, and Cabrera here in the top of the 5th inning. Sox lead it 1-0. Big hack, no contact. Breaking ball.
That was the hard breaking ball. That was a good hard slider.
And the count 0-2.
Well, that's been consistent because although Nick looked back at Ted Barrett, he's been calling that pitch all night. And if you're going to call it for one, call it for both. And he has been. You get that plate, you're going to be pretty tough to hit.
I love it.
That's a 1-0 plate.
A little bit low. Outfield about equidistant, slightly to the left. Beckham way back and off the line at third. He gone.
And
back door.
And Nick again is looking at Ted Barrett, but he called it before. And guess what, Nick? He called it again. Wow.
Well, if you know, that one thing that the hitter wants to know from the umpire is he going to be consistent?
Yeah,
and if he's going to be consistent, which Barrett's been tonight,
yep.
We said that in the first inning. Then at that point, whatever your game plan was, you have to adjust it.
Well, you got to go
to
out
his
and get
strike
it.
zone,
right?
Not yours.
You have to go out and get it on a pitch that's out of the zone because it's going to be called.
You know, Cano fouls that back. He grounded out to Beckham. Well, we were talking about that prior to the game. Al Leiter, who's in town, also does work for MLB and does a terrific job. And Cott and myself were talking about some of the umpires in the past. As long as it was high enough or low enough, it was a strike, which was okay because everybody knew it. That ball's hammered. He reminds me so much. He's got a couple of mannerisms to the plate. I'm telling you, so much of Rod Carew.
I was thinking the same thing. The only thing he doesn't do is kind of lay that bat back.
No, his bat's not flat like Rodney's was.
But he did hit 342 in 2006. That's a big year even by Carew standards.
Another Matabatacola. 2 down. Yeah, there's a talented young man right there.
Well, he came into this season, a season where he's hitting 308 with a 303 lifetime batting average. And a guy that Joe Girardi said probably covers more ground to his right, meaning up the middle, than any second baseman in the league. He said that's really where he shines defensively.
Well, that is a bit unusual. It's not the norm.
No, most guys have a much easier time going to the glove side at second base.
Well, the greatest second baseman that I ever saw, there's no question about who it is. He had tremendous range both ways, as that's inside to Cabrera, who doubled into right center field on a 2-1 fastball.
And you're talking about Robbie Alomar, I believe?
No question about it.
Yep.
Nobody even close.
He was just tremendous.
Two and one to count.
Watching Alomar and Vizquel with the Cleveland Indians in those days was like watching a couple of ballerinas in the middle of the infield.
That's into center field. Kotsay. Can of corn. That is 9 in a row retired by Gavin Floyd. Halfway home leading 1-0. Carlos Quentin will lead it off. It'll be the lower third of our order. Quentin, Getz, and Nix faced Andy Pettit. As that pitch is fouled back. 1-3-0 for us. 0-1-0 for them.
Like to see a run or two to make things a lot easier for Gavin Floyd, who's been brilliant through 5 innings.
Pettit hadn't been bad himself.
No, he's been pretty good, except for one cutter that didn't quite get inside enough to Gordon Beckham.
Soft line drive. 1 out.
And here's our Aflac trivia question, if you've forgotten. And then, of course, we will answer it for you. Last Yankee pitcher to lead the American League in strikeouts did it in 1964. Who was it? Al Downing. 217 strikeouts, 190 of them against Hawk Harrelson.
Oh, with backup sliders. I'll never forget him striking me out in Kansas City one night. Elston Howard was catching, and he threw me a backup slider. The ball is spinning like this and going, I can't hardly, it's spinning like this and going that way.
So you're expecting it to break
in, and it's breaking away. So all of a sudden, after the second one he threw me, I'd never seen that because I was just a baby. I turned around and I looked at Ellie and I said, Mr. Howard, I said, what is that? He started laughing. He didn't answer. He just started laughing because he knew I'd never seen a backup slider like that.
Al probably didn't throw it by design, just happened to.
That's what it was, as it turned out. That was his natural release on a slider. 1-2 pitch. Of course, the one he threw to Hank for 7-15 is, wow.
Take another look at it as
flip a coin.
Again, flip a coin, and the coin went the way of Andy Pettit.
Sorry, just going for both sides. I like it. I like it. So here's Jason. He struck out his first trip. Out and around that one. Easy inning right here for Pettit. And we'll go to the 6th with this 1-0 lead.
Molina leading off. You'd love to get him out before you go back to the top of the order with Jeter, who's in the on-deck circle.
First pitch strike. And the count 0-2.
Doesn't seem to be any reason to set up Molina here. Another one of those sharp breaking sliders ought to get the job done. That one a little bit off the plate.
Low curveball blocked, and the count 2-2.
There's a look at the captain, Derek Jeter.
That's in the left center field, and nobody's going to be able to get it. One hop into the seats, so a ground rule double for Molina leading off here in the top of the 6th.
Well, he had him 0-2 and missed with a couple of breaking balls, and then got careless with a fastball. And Molina representing the tying run, sitting out at second base. That one just stayed over the inner portion, and nobody could get to it. I would pretty much guarantee you that Jeter's going to find a way to get Molina to third base.
Well, Gavin's got to do some chunking right here. Jeter, who twice has grounded out to his counterpart, Jason Nix. First pitch strike. What a player. And ball lined hard into right field. That's a hang whiffle for Jeter. That's all you can do is hit it hard, and he hit it hard.
Enjoy pregame tailgating at White Sox Tailgate Party Pad. Treat your group of 20 to 50 fans to a private party area conveniently located outside the Gate 2 ballpark entrance. Bring your own food or have it catered by the White Sox. Book a White Sox tailgate party pad with discounted game tickets by calling 312-674-1000 today.
Johnny Damon takes first pitch strike. He has walked and then hit a little check swing number just by Floyd that Gordon Beckham came over on the run, made a nice play to get him.
And a big advantage here. Molina has almost no speed out at second base.
And that's inside.
Gavin has really kept it to a minimum so far, 70 pitches. It's because he's only walked one to this point.
And there's a base hit. They're going to wave Molina around. As now he throws behind him. Can they get him at second? No.
That wasn't a real good play by Jermaine Dye.
Bad decision.
Well, Johnny Damon, by taking that big turn, invited the throw behind him. And with speed like that, if you're that deep, and he was for Damon, you're not going to be able to get Molina, and you might as well get this ball into second. Keep the double play in order with one out, but now you have the go-ahead run at second base. Heads up base running by Johnny Damon.
So here's Teixeira. He has popped to left and struck out. Curveball strike.
RBI number 58 for Johnny Damon.
Good pitch in on the fist, ate him up. He gone. He knew it.
The last time he looked at a breaking ball for strike 3, and this time he was just outguessed. He was thinking about either a slider or a curveball. Instead, he got a fastball. And no argument whatsoever. That ball, as you see, it came over the top of the front knee. And Teixeira just walked back. So a big pitch in a big situation by Gavin Floyd.
Rodriguez has hit into a 5-4 fielder's choice, and he has struck out. Big wave. And a good fastball. Totals on the board identical at 1-3-0. The 0-2 pitch. Up high. Right idea. Just a little too up. Outfield straight up, spread out, fairly deep. He gone. But they come up with the run. The RBI single by Johnny Damon. And we are tied at 1.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered.
Marcotte leads off the bottom of the 6th. Hacking at first pitch from Andy Pettit. 37-year-old veteran, 6'5", 225-pound southpaw. Fakes the bunt, takes a strike.
It's a pretty good idea because he had Rodriguez playing very deep and off the line at third base. Only he couldn't get the bunt down.
Mark has grounded to third, and he's popped up to right. One and two. Outfield slightly to the left. They're spread out for the most part straight up. One out. Strikeout number 7 for Pettit.
Well, taking a look at that board, it's exactly the same. 1, 3, and 0 for both teams. And both pitchers have fanned 7. And there's been only 1 walk in the game.
Beckham takes a breaking ball strike. He is 1 for 2. That RBI double, knocking in Chris Getz, who had singled back in the 3rd inning. So our young guys put the point on the board. And that breaking ball grabs the strike.
Well, normally when a guy hurts you inside, when you go get him the next time, it's outside.
And that's by Rodriguez. Damon will get over, get it back in, hold him to the single.
That time Pettit hung the curveball, and Molina going out there to talk with him. I don't think that's a pitch he wanted because he's set up outside. And you see that curveball right up in the eyes of Gordon Beckham, who rifled it by Rodriguez at third. He was playing well off the line. And now Molina having a talk with Pettit.
Pettit is lucky that ball stayed in the ballpark.
I don't think that he read the sign correctly. I think Molina went out and said, look, I wanted it away. I think he probably gave him either a cutter or a fastball away, and he got a curveball up.
So here's Jermaine. He's grounded to third, and he has gone out to left. Outfield. Status quo. Takes first pitch strike.
Well, Pettit's had pretty good control tonight, but he does lead this team in home runs given up. And that's with 16, which isn't a big number as we understand their new ballpark, which if you let a guy hit it to right or right center, goes out rather easily.
Good check. Good take. 1-1.
Saw Gordon at lunch today, and I told him, I'm pretty sure you're going to get on, and when you do, be very careful with the move of Andy Pettit, because it's been real good for a long time.
That changeup misses outside, so to count 2-1. Well, he's probably never seen a move as good as Pettit's good one.
No, and that's one of the reasons why I mentioned be careful of that lead.
Good pitch. Man, rack him up. We'll go to the 7th, still tied at 1. No, 385 in the gaps, 410 straightaway center.
You got to get a big piece of it to get it out.
First pitch to Matsui. Matsui is struck out and gone out to center. A 1-1 tie here in the top of the 7th inning. And that's into left field. So with one out, that'll bring up Swisher. Nick Twice has struck out. One and 0. With a 28-year-old switch hitting outfielder, first baseman. And that evens the count. And there's a good curveball.
Nick just shakes his head as if to say, yep, that was a good one. He can shake his head a lot. He's not going to hit that one.
Not a whole bunch of guys are. There's not one outstanding breaking ball hitter in this league. If it is anything close to it, and he's not an outstanding breaking ball hitter, it's Mauer.
Was one of the guys that we pretty much controlled in that series.
That's the whole thing in that series with the Twins. We control Morneau and Mauer. You do that, you're supposed to win. But when you give them as many runs as we did in the first 2 games, they took advantage of it. And meanwhile, we got this homestand to deal with. Full count to Swisher.
They threw in the slider, and that ball was never a strike. It started low, went lower, and by the time Swisher swung, that ball was 2 feet inside.
8 punch outs for Gavin.
Nick was never known to be a discerning hitter. He made up his decision to swing when that ball left the hand of Gavin Floyd.
Which happens. That happens a lot. Here's Cano. He's grounded to third and grounded to second. Curveball misses. Got to be careful with this guy. He is dangerous. Here's a good curveball.
Well, I talked to Girardi about what Cano did to help him. He said he closed up his stance somewhat. He said it was wide open. Then when he'd move to the plate with his front foot, he'd lock himself off. Now it's just barely open.
Beckham throws him out. 7th inning stretch. Yankees won. Sox won. First pitch strike to Jim Thome, 0 for 2 in this 1-1 tie. Jimmy is grounded to second and struck out. Called out. Checks it up, and that's a fair ball. Slips down.
What a break. Feet went out from under Andy Pettit. You can see the sod there. Just lifted up a touch. He didn't set himself, and he had plenty of time to get that ball. And representing the go-ahead run, you wonder if you take Jimmy down for a pinch runner here. Watch it again. Now Andy's got some time, but he doesn't get to the ball under control.
Well, that's a decision that Ozzie does not want to make right now, obviously. Because they only have one left-hander down in that bullpen.
Well, that's true, and their setup man is Phil Hughes, a right-hander. Of course, we know about Mariano Rivera.
So here's Paulie. Takes it right there. Might be the best pitch he gets in this sequence. Paulie is singled and struck out. Flares that one foul. Now he's in the big hole, 0-2. That's once again a reminder, tomorrow night, Clayton Richard against Sergio Mitre in that game over WGN if you can't make it to the ballpark. Not many seats left, so call 866 Sox game and see about the availability. Same thing holds true for Saturday. Johnny Danks against AJ Burnett. Call 866 Sox game and check out the availability of tickets. On Sunday's game, Burley against CC Sabathia. As Paulie goes down for out number 1. And start your day with the Monsters in the morning. Tomorrow, the Monsters have Bears president Ted Phillips in studio to talk about the upcoming season, plus cyclist Floyd Landis. Monsters in the morning with Mike North and Dan Jiggins tomorrow morning from 6 to 9 only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Let's see if make this error really hurt the Yankees. It's only their 57th error of the year.
First pitch strike to AJ. Quentin on deck.
Well, Pettit's going to stay away from AJ. AJ can do as good a job as anybody of slicing that ball just down the left field line, as you've got A-Rod well off the line at third. Bullpen up and going for the Yankees as this becomes pitch number 101 for Andy Pettit, who's averaged just over 6 innings per start.
Line drive off the glove of Rodriguez. Play he should have made.
Well, he was playing him in pretty good shape. I mean, he was well off the line, and that line drive goes as E5.
Well, he'd be the first one to tell you he should have struck that one up. That was not that hard a play. Meanwhile, 2 on, and here's Quentin.
Robertson and Hughes. Phil Hughes has been their premier setup man. Talking to Joe Girardi before the game, he said that Koch, who's not feeling particularly well, along with Hughes, have been the 2 guys that have gotten the ball to Mariano Rivera, and they've done a great job. And here comes Joe Girardi.
Well, Joe, back in late April, was voted #1. to be the first manager fired with a start the Yankees got off to.
Hadn't worked out that way.
Not at all.
Especially when they're tied for the best record in baseball.
Joe's going to be around a long time. You don't have to worry about Joe Girardi. He's going to be around a long time. All right. Andy Pettitte pitched well. Very well. He departs, and we'll be back.
Local retailers. A new tradition comes to Chicago. Family coffee roasters since 1916. And Phil Hughes comes into the game. He's 4-2, ERA 3.43, on for the 26th time. 7 of them starts. And in talking with Girardi, he said that when he was a starter, he was throwing 91, 92. Now that he's moved into the bullpen, knowing that he's not going to go long, that fastball is anywhere from 94 to 97.
1 out, 2 on. Carlos Quentin 0 for 2.
Hughes has 62 strikeouts in 60 in the third innings.
Got a good pitch to hit right there and couldn't do anything with it. Hughes, a big man, 6'5", 240. He's 23 years old.
And every time the Yankees went to make a deal when they wanted to put something together, there was a couple names that they mentioned. Phil Hughes was always one of them. And another one was a young center fielder by the name of Austin Jackson. And every time the name of Jackson came up, Brian Cashman would hang up the phone. And it would have taken a whole lot to get Phil Hughes because they didn't want to move him.
Big pitch right here, the 1-1. And that fastball at 94. Souvenir right side. Just got a piece of it.
That one right off the mask of Molina. And he's going out. Maybe not as much to have a word with Hughes as is to shake the cobwebs out of his head. I think he broke his mask, is what it appears. One of the 3 catching Molinas. And he caught this one right in the head.
So we'll reboot. And once again, the 1-2 pitch. Attaboy. Sometimes in a 1-2 count like that, it is so hard to lay off a fastball up and in. Wow.
Well, it looks real good. You can't catch up to it, but it looks real good.
It looks great coming up.
Yeah.
And bad going by. Now time is called. The 2-2. Oh, there it was. There it was.
Well, Carlos got a fastball down where he could handle it. And unfortunately, he fouled it straight back.
That is center cut right there. Ground ball, and this should do it. No, the ball is thrown away. Here comes Tomey. He's going to score the 3rd error of the inning, and the Sox lead it 2-1. Yeah.
That ball was hit so hard that you wonder why Cano rushed it. He didn't have to. But he threw the ball away by Teixeira, who's a Gold Glove first baseman. You know that Carlos isn't running quite as well as he usually does, but a nice job of going into first base. That by AJ into second base, Pierzynski. And AJ went right at him. Cano just makes a terrible throw.
Well, the reason he made that terrible throw is because AJ kept his head up so long. He forced Cano to alter his throwing motion, and here is Getz. Chris is 1 for 2. That's a terrific job by AJ, and he's taking a chance because if Cano wanted to, he could have put it right in his forehead. Watch how long his head stays up.
Well, he made Cano throw the ball around him.
That's a little flipper. Damon was playing short. He's got room, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. But the 3rd. Check the second. They gave AJ a base hit. 2nd error. Meanwhile, we'll go to the 8th. It is 2-1. Good guys. All right, Pat, thank you. First pitch misses to Melky Cabrera, who's 1 for 2, a double.
And nobody in the on deck circle yet, so we'll see what Girardi decides to do. I guess it depends on what Melky does.
21 to count.
Wayne Wise takes over in left field, so the night is done for Carlos Quentin.
And to count 3-1.
Jorge Posada now in the on deck circle. Switch hitter will come on to hit for Jose Molina.
A full count to Cabrera. And that's foul.
Matt Thornton throwing in the bullpen.
New Papa. He gone.
Good backdoor breaking ball, and Cabrera looks at Ted Barrett as if he just came into the game. AJ eases it over the corner. Been a strike all night. There's no reason for it not to be a strike in the 8th.
He has been consistent. So here is the soon-to-be 38-year-old veteran Jorge Posada.
Posada, a much better hitter from the right side, will be facing Gavin Floyd as a left-hand hitter. Now, all of his power comes, however, from the left side.
Good breaking ball. Gavin, 9 strikeouts. Got that one by him. Posada last year, 268 hitter. He was injured. 3 homers. Only 22 knocked in. But in 07, 338 with 20 homers and 90 RBIs.
Well, year after year until the injuries last year, he was one of the dominant catchers in the American League, certainly.
You got that right. Wow. That was a little slips. Oops.
Gavin didn't quite have the grip on that breaking ball that he would have liked. He was trying to hit the outside corner with that backdoor breaking ball. Instead, he threw it right at the U.S. Cellular sign.
Looked like one of Lou Burnett's spitters.
I thought that one just missed off the corner.
1-2 pitch.
.100 pitches on the nose.
He gone. 10 punch outs.
Gavin tried to throw 3 of them in that spot, and finally the third of 3 was there.
So here's Jeter, 0 for 3 last time up. After Molina led off with a double, Derek trying to move him over to third. Did his job as far as hitting it hard. He hit a bullet right to Jermaine Dye. It's up high. Into right field, Jermaine. Yes. No, they say he trapped it.
He trapped it. Made a good effort, though. As long as you're not going to get to it, You might as well make sure it doesn't get by you, and you might as well show the umpire.
Well, they immediately signal trap. Both of them, McClellan and Fletcher. And here comes Ozzie.
Well, he doesn't much of any choice but to go with Matt Thornton against Johnny Damon.
A terrific job once again by Gavin Floyd, as he did so often last year in a big game. He rises to the occasion. He departs, tips his cap, and we'll be back. Helton's analysis plus listen in on Ozzie's post-game remarks. Don't miss U.S. Cellular White Sox post-game live immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Matt Thornton comes into this one, and he's got Derek Jeter at first base representing the tying run. And Thornton at 4-2, ERA 2.83. The proud new dad on for the 43rd time. He's looking in at Johnny Damon,
who is 1 for 2 with an RBI. Jeter 18 for 22 in stolen bases.
Jeter's the kind of base runner that usually doesn't try to steal them unless they really hurt you.
Checks it up, fouls it off. Yeah, in that respect, he is from the old school.
He's not going to steal a useless base. It doesn't really matter to him at this point.
Louis Aparicio was of that ilk. He would not steal unless everybody in the ballpark knew he was going to be running, because it was a big, big run. Fakes the bunt, takes the ball, then to count 1-1. And to count 1-2.
One more of those sliders, and that should be about it for this at bat. AJ looking over in the dugout, get a little help, and AJ wants a fastball.
And that is slapped to left field.
After making a guy look real bad on a slider, Thornton threw a fastball in the right spot, but because it wasn't moving away from Damon, he was able to get his bat on it, hit it in a perfect spot, and fortunately, getting to the ball quickly, Dwayne Wise making sure that Jeter had to stay at second base.
So Teixeira is 0 for 3 tonight with a couple of punch outs. He's glad to see Gavin Floyd gone. Big hat. And the count 0-1.
Mark Teixeira and Gavin Floyd grew up right in back of one another. Teixeira was good friends with Gavin's older brother. Played a little baseball together.
And the count 0-2. Yes, he did. He gone. Nice job by Thornton. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th, leading 2-1. Jason Nix 0 for 2 will lead it off here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Jorge Posada stays in the game behind the plate.
Good eye by Beckham. Or check that Nix. Jason has struck out and grounded to third. Pulled his head just a bit. That one at 93, and the count 1-2. Tatse on deck and Beckham in the hole.
Gordon Beckham has hit the ball harder than any of the Sox tonight.
Breaking ball. 2-2. Two 5-0 for us, 1 5-2 for them. Get it. Nope. Posada. 1 out.
Prorated White Sox full season ticket plans are still available. Full season tickets offer the best seat locations, the lowest prices, and many other benefits. Call 312-674-1000 or visit WhiteSox.com to reserve your seats today.
Here's Mark. He's 0 for 3. Outfield about the same as they have been the whole game for everybody. Spread out. They don't move around a whole bunch. Now on Getz, Damon did come in quite a bit, playing him very shallow. There's a strike. 1-1.
They do shift in the infield though, and Jeter is playing right up the middle for Kotze.
Slips. 2-1.
It's a good time for Mark to get his first hit as a member of the Sox. Set it up for Gordon Beckham.
Two balls, two strikes to the 33-year-old veteran. The ball hit hard. Get on back there. Cabrera right in front of the track hauls it in. They play so deep he didn't have to go very far or hard at all for that one.
It's one of those nights where it's not quite as lively around the ballpark as we've seen it. We've seen a couple of shots die in the alley. Elkie Cabrera hit one earlier that I thought had a chance, but was a two-base hit. Then Molina hit one that one hopped out of the ballpark, and that one was hit hard.
Breaking ball hangs high and in. For the Yankees in the ninth, Rodriguez, Matsui, and Swisher.
And Bobby Jenks is not up and throwing, which means that looks like Matt Thornton's going to be given the ninth inning.
Too much time for Gordon, who backs it down. Lays off that curveball. 2-1. Just tuning in, Sox 1 in the third. Yankees tied it 1 in the sixth. Sox 1 in the seventh.
It was a pretty crisp 94, and there's Phil Koch throwing in the bullpen.
And the 2-2. 1-2-3 inning for Hughes. We'll go to the ninth, leading by a run. 2-1 good guys. Top of the 9th inning. Rodriguez to lead it off. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Takes first pitch strike. And a count 0-2.
Over 3 lifetime against Matt Thornton. Matsui 0 for 6 in the on deck circle lifetime against Thornton.
That's up high at 97. He gone.
That is some high heat for you. And for the 3rd time tonight, Rodriguez goes down on strikes. He swung when that ball was by him. That is a major fastball.
So here's Matsui. He's 0 for 3. Well, between Teixeira and Rodriguez, they're 0 for 8 with 6 strikeouts. And the count 0-2.
Well, Matsui, if he continues to swing at that ball face high, that's his best bolt, falling it straight back. And Nick Swisher is in the on deck circle. Now he's 2 for 6 lifetime against Thornton. Let's see how high he'll go after one. Yes,
he
indeed.
goes. 2 down. Swisher 0 for 3 tonight. He's got the hat trick. Outfield, deep, and a no double set. Beckham, couple of steps off the line. And there's strike 1. That ball hit deep. And this game is tied at 2. Number 17 for Swisher. And Gavin Floyd will not get the victory.
It's our 4th home run replay, and with a 1-strike count, that fastball a little bit lower than Matt would have wanted it, and Swisher takes it out of the park.
For us in the bottom of the 9th, Dye, Tomey, and Konerko. And the count 0-2. He strikes out the side, but the home run with 2 outs on an 0-1 pitch to Swisher. And we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Tie. Bill Hughes still on the bump. He came on back in the 7th in relief of Andy Pettit, who really pitched well tonight. Not as well as Gavin Floyd, but Gavin will not get the victory. So here is Jermaine Dye. First pitch strike. Jermaine is 0 for 3. He's grounded to third. He has gone out to left, and he's hit into a 4-6-3 double play. Tommy on deck.
And Hughes came on in the 7th inning, and he's still here.
That breaking ball, the curve high. So the count 2-1. Between Dye, Tommy, and Konerko, they're 1 for 9 tonight. Paulie had a base hit back in the 2nd inning. They're due. Takes the mask off Posada.
Tough night for the Yankee catchers as Ted Barrett now goes out to put the ball right into Hughes' glove. Scott Linebrink throwing in the bullpen.
Big rip. Couldn't get on top of it. That ball, just a rolling curveball, hammered, but foul.
Hughes got away with that one because that was a mistake, and Jermaine got out a little too quickly on it. Usually when they hang there, they go a long way or wind up in the corner for a double.
Good pitch by Hughes. Good job by JD. Pops him up. Get out of here. Posada has got room. 1 out. So here's Tommy. He has grounded to second, struck out, and reached on an arrow. Modified shift. Only person really, Cano out there in short right field. First pitch, fastball, strike at 94 in the outer half. And there's a base hit. So now Posedny will run for him.
Now if they would have used the shift that most teams use on him, that would have been right at shortstop Jeter. But he was on the third base side of second, and Cano was playing him as a dead pull hitter, so there was nobody home on the right side. And Jim will exit to a big hand. Scott Posednik will come on.
First hit given up by Hughes. First and third in Paulie. That's big lead. And there's a base hit. So Pods will pull up at second. And that'll bring up A.J.
Here comes Joe Girardi, and that probably will mean that Phil Koch will come into the game.
He is made to sign. So Hughes comes in and works 2 innings.
He's hitting just 190. The right-handers haven't done that much better. But if he sweeps that breaking ball away from Posada, he's going to have some problems with it in the dirt. So Scott Posednik has got to be heads up at second base, especially with Jeter most likely going to try to sneak behind him.
So here we go. 27-year-old southpaw out of Sonora, California. Outfield now comes in a bit. And that's way outside.
Well, Johnny Damon is in very shallow in left field. On a base hit, there will be a play, but he doesn't have much of an arm.
Wild swing by A.J. way out of the strike zone.
That was that hard breaking slider that Koch features along with the fastball at 95, 96.
And that's popped up. Cabrera, 2 down, and now it's up to Dwayne Wise. Wayne has faced Koch 1 time. It's up high. Brisquet's on deck. Right here. D-Wise. And the count 2-0. Don't help him out. Keyhole.
Ryan Bruni, hard-throwing right-hander, loosening up in the pen.
Damon over towards the line and left. Gap out there. Big gap in left center. Just got a piece of it. Two on, two out. 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 9th in a 2-2 tie. Base hit. Yes! Here comes Pudge. The throw. Sox win. Sox win it, and this ball game is over. Wise with a clutch single knocks in Scotty Pudge.
Wise comes in for